There comes a moment in every life where you are faced with a choice, not between good or evil, not between success or failure, but between who you are and who you were born to become. That moment is not marked by fireworks. It doesn't arrive with applause. It comes in silence, in the dark, in the quiet hours when no one is watching. When your excuses whisper, "You've done enough," and something deeper, something ancient inside you screams back, "You were made for more." That's the crossroads. That's the battlefield. The place where mediocrity dies and vision begins. Because vision is not a daydream. It is not a vague hope. It is a declaration of war on every limitation you've ever accepted. Vision is not passive. Vision pulls you. It burns in your chest like a furnace. It eats your excuses for breakfast and demands your soul for dinner. And if your vision isn't doing that, if it doesn't scare you, stretch you, or strip you down, then it isn't a vision. It's a wish. And wishes don't build empires. Thomas Edison saw a world lit by electric light when the rest of the world clung to candles. He failed 10,000 times to get it right, but his vision wouldn't let him quit. Walt Disney saw castles rising from swampland, while others laughed and pointed fingers. He was bankrupt, broken, mocked, but his vision had more gravity than their doubt. These men weren't lucky. They weren't chosen. They were possessed. Possessed by a vision so vivid, so magnetic, that nothing, not poverty, not ridicule, not failure, could talk them out of it. What's your excuse? You say you're tired? You say life is hard? You say people don't support you? Good. That means you're on the right path. Nothing worth building was ever built in comfort. You want peace? Get a hammock. You want greatness? Bleed for it. Because the truth is, you don't lack time, you lack clarity. You don't lack energy, you lack alignment. You don't lack motivation, you lack vision. A vision so ferocious, so crystal clear, that it drags you out of bed before the sun rises. A vision so relentless that it makes quitting feel like suffocating. This is not about ambition. This is not about goals. This is about something bigger, a calling. There is a version of you that's buried under layers of fear, habit, and doubt. A version that doesn't flinch when things get hard. A version that doesn't chase comfort, but chases purpose. That version is waiting for you to step up. Not tomorrow, now. Because here's the brutal truth. Excuses are not about your circumstances. They're about your identity. When you don't know who you are, you'll sell yourself cheap. When you don't know where you're going, you'll settle for standing still. You'll mistake survival for success. But when you build a vision so detailed you can feel it, so strong you can taste it, so compelling you can't ignore it, you will stop negotiating with your fears. You will stop waiting for permission. You will wake up like a soldier on a mission. That's the secret. Not luck, not genius, not privilege. Vision. It is the lens through which all things become possible. It turns pain into fuel, failure into feedback, doubt into discipline. When Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have a dream," he wasn't just inspiring people, he was transferring his vision, injecting it into the bloodstream of a movement. Because vision is contagious, it's radioactive, it spreads. And here's what they don't tell you. You don't wait for vision. You build it, brick by brick. Through stillness, through intention, through brutal honesty about what matters to you, not what impresses others. You sit in the silence and you ask, what am I here to build that no one else can? And when you find it, when that fire lights, you no longer care about applause. You no longer need consensus, because now you are not running from something, you are running toward something. And no excuse can outrun that kind of fire. Most people live in reverse. They wait to feel confident before they act. They wait for support before they commit. They wait for proof before they believe. But the ones who rise, the ones who change their world, do the opposite. They believe before the world gives them a reason to. They walk forward even when their legs are trembling. They speak victory in the middle of chaos. They choose faith before the facts line up. That is what separates the builders from the beggars, the creators from the complainers. Your vision is not built in clarity. It is built in confusion. It is born in darkness. And that is exactly why it has the power to destroy every excuse in its path. Because excuses are fragile. They shatter when exposed to purpose. You don't need a map. You need a fire. Because discipline doesn't come from pressure. It comes from pull. When your vision becomes your obsession, discipline is no longer punishment, it's devotion. It's the price you gladly pay for something eternal. You want to stop procrastinating? Get clear on what you're fighting for. Get obsessed with the life that is waiting for you on the other side of this pain. Imagine it in full detail, the sights, the sounds, the freedom, the pride. Not just a mansion or a car. That's not vision, that's decoration. Vision is legacy. Vision is walking through your neighborhood and knowing you changed it. Vision is raising your kids to believe in miracles because they watched you become one. Vision is leaving your fingerprints on this earth long after you're gone. And you don't find that by accident. You build that deliberately. That's why excuses don't survive in the presence of vision. Because vision rewires your mind. It changes what you tolerate. It sharpens your instincts. It makes you allergic to small talk and addicted to progress. You begin to see through people, not with judgment, but with clarity. You feel the difference between noise and purpose. You hear it in their voice. You see it in their eyes. Most people speak from fear, but when you carry vision, you speak from conviction. Your voice shakes differently. Your silence hits harder. And that's when the shift happens. You stop seeking validation. You stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to convince the small-minded to understand something they were never meant to carry. Because vision is heavy. It demands sacrifice. It demands transformation. It demands that the old you must die for the new you to rise. And that death is painful. That death is lonely, but it's sacred. Like steel being forged in fire, like a seed cracking open in the dark soil to become something that reaches for the sun. That's what vision does. It breaks you in all the right places so you can finally be rebuilt. Not into who the world told you to be, but into who you were always meant to become. That's why when people say, "I'm stuck," I don't buy it. You're not stuck, you're scared. You're not lost, you're undecided. You're not confused, you're resisting the truth you already know. Deep down, you know exactly what you're here to do. You've just been drowning it in distractions, numbing it with comfort, burying it under a pile of somedays. But vision is not patient. It will haunt you in the silence. It will whisper to you in your dreams, and it will get louder until you finally listen. Or until you waste the one life you were given trying to please people who will forget your name the moment you're gone. So listen, it's time to build. Not just work hard, not just stay busy. Build, brick by brick, decision by decision, habit by habit. This is not motivation. This is construction. Your destiny is under construction. Your excuses are the wreckage. Your vision is the blueprint. Pick up the hammer. Pick up the hammer. Pick up the weight. Pick up the responsibility of becoming the person you were always meant to be. Because no one is coming to build it for you. No mentor, no savior, no magic moment is going to hand it to you on a silver plate. There is no perfect time, no golden opportunity. The only moment you will ever have is this one. And if you do not rise now, excuses will calcify into regret. And regret is the heaviest weight of all. Your mind is the architect. Your habits are the bricks. Your discipline is the mortar. And your vision? Your vision is the skyline in the distance, the thing that keeps you moving when your feet ache and your muscles scream and your heart says, just stay down. But you don't stay down, not anymore, because the moment you chose vision, you made a silent vow that no excuse, no pain, no failure would ever again outrank your purpose. You chose to stop measuring progress by applause and start measuring it by alignment. You chose to suffer now, so your future self would rise. Look at every person who ever changed history. They didn't start with a team. They didn't start with certainty. They started with vision, a spark, an idea so relentless that it made inaction more painful than effort. Lincoln failed in business, lost elections, battled depression, but he saw something greater than himself. He saw a nation reborn.